The IMF, for example, has projected for India itself, what? 7.3% for 25, 26, and perhaps slowing down a bit into 26, 27, 6.4, 6.3. Do any of those projections hold in this Trumpian world order? Should we be looking at them in the first instance?
Again, it is a good, useful indicator. I have to say that 2025 played out about what was projected for the world. You know, it was, I think they predicted 3.2 and it ended up 3.3, slightly better, but the ballpark was really good. So it is a useful number to keep in mind. But that said, we are certainly, playing the roulette rule quite a bit these days and hoping for the global economy to all hang together.
Because you wrote an interesting article recently in the Financial Times. You argue that 2025 created an illusion of stability with global growth holding up despite tariffs, policy chaos and rising uncertainty. Do you seem to believe, when you say it's created an illusion of stability, do you believe that illusion will hold, or sooner or later ruptures will be seen in economies across the world?
Well, I think one of two things are likely. One is, at the minimum, I expect that there will be a slow, hit to living standards over time, because structural changes of the kind that we're seeing, you don't see it showing up immediately in GDP numbers. It weakens the economic potential slowly, and then it adds up over time. That's why I get the example of Brexit in that article, which is in the 2 years after Brexit, investment in the UK went up. And everybody said, oh, well, this is much ado about nothing. But actually, that was not the case. In fact, investment started slowing and really slowed relative to what it would have been in the absence of Brexit. Also, the other thing I want to keep in mind is that while tariffs were a headwind, you had a good tailwind that came from AI. And that played a very important role. The investment boom in AI, the stock market-driven wealth increases in AI, all of those helped growth. The fiscal stimulus, the fiscal spending that happened in China, Germany, some in the US, more happening this year in the US, all of that is offsetting it. So I'd like to push back on this basic sense that somehow tariffs haven't done much. They've actually played out the way you would expect, keeping in mind that the average tariff rate is lower than what the sticker shock numbers are.